this brings us to the last part of my exposition, which is the philosophical background to my work, to my experiments, to my way of being too. It's another vision, completely alternative to what we are accustomed to see man in the context of our universe, of our planet, man as commander-in-chief. I don't believe in commander-in-chief man. This for me is ridiculous. We are one of millions of species which occurred on this planet, and life on this planet, part of life, and life on this planet I see as part only of an instrumentarium which planet Earth created for itself to realize its strategy of being. And then planet Earth, once again, only part, one cell, in a bigger context, the universe. First our solar system, and then our solar system, once again, a small organ of our cell, of the whole universe. And in this whole universe, nothing happens by incidents. And there is no beginning and no end. There is no Big Bang. There is no end. It's evolution. And coming back to us, so we perhaps should think about a step down from our pedestal we have elevated for us, and look to life, to the planet in a different way. And then try to figure out the function of each species. First, seeing life as part of the instrument of planet Earth, which planet Earth created for itself or for himself, for realize its strategy of being, which is mainly complexifying. Looking at the functioning of planet Earth, it's different to many other parts of the universe. It's complexifying, that is a complementary. And perhaps the solar system is, once again, we have to look at solar system. It's a vortex, a centripetal vortex. It creates a centripetal vortex. And in this centripetal vortex, you see it's the way, that is a physical way, where a process of complexifying processes happens. And so the sun, I see the sun's only something like our heart. Our heart is not the pump. It's only a part, a center, which gives, in our case, or in case of our body, which gives a rhythm. And in relation to the solar system, so the sun gives a part, emits a part of the energy necessary to move the solar system, the whole solar system, in order to capture energy from the universe, complexifying it, and planet Earth does this too. And life is only the photosynthesis or chemosynthesis, and since some years we know that there exists also bacteria which are able to do radiosynthesis, which occurred after the accident in Chernobyl occurred there, in order to do the same thing, complexifying, as I say, that complexifying energy and then storing them in a form of carbohydrates. It's more or less 1% which life captures of energy which comes to the planet, and at the same time it's the whole planet is doing the same thing. As I say, solar system is doing it, and this 1% has one property which is very important to see. It needs only more or less 4, 5, 3, 6% of the energy it stores or it captures, it has of the capital of energy. It spends about 3 to 5 or 6% of that energy for metabolic processes, and so there is a steady and has every, let's say, constantly about a 10% increase, up to 20% increase per year, and so there's a constant increase of complexified energy. And so if we look now once again to planet and photosynthesis, so we have to focus on photosynthesis and looking now to the functioning. There's a simple way to understand it. All of us know, or perhaps have read once, that if you let a depleted piece of land or ecosystem without our intervention, not as in a way as we do it in the Sahara or in the Gobi or in other deserts we have created, letting our domesticated animals and forcing them to graze or to grasp the last rest which is being done by life in order to, it's accumulated by life, and so increasing the desert. If we take off man of the system together with his domesticated animals, then from that moment onward we have a constant increase of the complexified energy, of complexity, constant increase of established life and of available nutrients and capacity of retention of water. The circulation of water on our planet, the circulation of sweet water on our planet, in my point of view, it corresponds 100% to the circulation of blood in our body. And so if we look at this, or this aspect, we stop to think in irrigation, we stop to think in bringing fertilizer. There's no need for fertilizer. 3.5 billion of evolution, it was not necessary to bring some fertilizer. Planet Earth does this, volcanism and other processes, and life does it. It makes it available when necessary, and so it's not our task to do that. The same thing in terms of controlling pests and diseases, or make war against bacteria. Completely ridiculous. It's not necessary. All is organized. It's a macroorganism. Each species which occurred on this planet occurred in function in order to realize some its specific or for its foreseen specific tasks and fulfill its function, and this fulfilling of this function, of those function or its function, is moved by inner pleasure. And there is no war between different species. The fulfilling of this function is not only moved by inner pleasure, that's to say, in that we believe by inner pleasure. There is another thing, it's intelligently organized. For example, if I look for predators like big cats or small cats or other predators, they don't eat looking to their belly, or the hunger is not the motor to do that. It's only a means they need in order to fulfill their function. That's to say, a lion wouldn't attack an antelope or another animal moved by hunger, or that's to say, motivated by its hunger, the hunger of a lion. It has a criterion, that's to say, that tiger has a clear criterion. The criterion is the capacity of optimization of life processes of the prey he is hunting at the moment of hunting. And the same thing of so-called pests and diseases. They don't attack only for being present, and we should know this. Diseases, pests in our agriculture. It's not, as I said, in the field, it's not something to be eliminated or to be controlled. They are, in my case, they are my allies. One of the best allies were my professors. They show me that I committed an error in my way of interaction. And so I'm not angry with them. On the contrary, I'm thankful to them. Thank you that you show me. I will try to improve my way of interaction. And each time I do this, or that's to say, if I achieve, they show it too. That's to say, then the reaction is marvelous. That's to say, more vigorous, more stronger plants, more productivity. Then there is another aspect of our way of interaction with life. We always are looking for grasping the maximum possible out of the objects of our exploitation. You ever imagined that if you were, or if we were the object of that exploitation, the reaction of all beings to be exploited, the natural reaction is that it will reject itself, refuse itself to be exploited. We should do it in a different way and try to do it in agriculture. Try to ask, not only try, act in a way, what can I do in order to be useful, in order to act in a way so that my interaction or a result of my interaction will be beneficial to all submitted and all presence of my interaction. It will change completely. All of them will be happy and will cooperate. And in doing this, we come back to the paradise. That's to say, we'll see from this moment or from a moment on, we act in, or we would, if we would be able, and if we did it, to act in this way, we come back to the paradise. There is no bad and no good. There is only function, or there are ethics. All relation, interspecific and interspecific relations between all beings, living beings on this planet, with exception of modern man, and his, by him, deformed, domesticated animals are based on the principles of unconditional love and cooperation. And secondly, all species, once again, with exception of man and some or many of those by him adopted and deformed during thousands of years, domesticated animals, they act strictly on the principles of by Immanuel Kant, some 250 years ago, formulated categoric imperative, which says, act in a way that you want that the principles submitted to your interaction will be applied immediately on yourself, or act in a way so that you want that the principles submitted to your interaction will be elevated immediately to principles of a universal law or of universal laws, and once again applied in yourself. I have to say that during my 60 years of farmer, working with plants, working with wild animals, even working with many, a lot of domesticated animals, most of them, I never have been stolen. They don't lie, you can rely upon. And reaction is marvelous. Whereas never I had been exploited by one of those species. And so we should try to see a little bit closer to us and not trying to find the enemy outside of us. It's inside of us. And doing this all together, one day we will see, perhaps it's not even the number of people which is to be blamed, the excessive number of people, of human beings on this planet, which is to be blamed for the catastrophe we are creating for us for ourselves, depleting of one ecosystem after another, creating one desert after the other. It's our way of interaction, it's our behavior. If we would act as I explained, then too we wouldn't need any environmental police, nor justice, nor judges, nor prison for people. Any other species is so stupid to do that, to spend money on weapons to make war against other ones. We could do it in a different way. We could direct our energy to figure out first how to interact in order to be useful, in order to be beneficial for life on this planet, to increase life on each step we go. And so our agricultural used land wouldn't demand for so-called natural reserves and parks to exclude our presence or to exclude our interaction. Then we would create areas that's doing agriculture. We would create areas of eternal integration of us and no more need areas of eternal exclusion of us. Looking once again at us as species, or we will be ashamed, should be ashamed, or it's ridiculous what we do. Perhaps we could try, at least, to think about this, and with this I will finish, and in some way have a big problem to make or to produce a monologue. I like dialogue, because all on this universe, all on this planet should be dialogue and not monologue. Thank you very much, and deep thanks to planet Earth, to Mother Earth, to have had so much time, patience with this our species, to have committed so many errors, so much errors, and being on the way to eliminate minute by minute, one after the other species on this planet. Thank you.